People who have had their nudes leaked, how has it affected your life and mental health? A woman at my job killed herself because the dude she sent her nudes showed it around the company. And she could not handle it. He got fired instantly, but the deed was done. It's a sad story and a cautionary tale. The worst thing is, the nudes were not even that bad, just her in see-through lingerie. But alas, that entire thing ruined her. She was such a sveen innocent person. Too trusting and naive. I still feel like shit when I think about her. User replies. Quote, he got fired instantly. This should have been out of a cannon, into the sun. User replies. Hope the dude actually gets more than just being fired. He needs to get criminally charged. I work on a pretty big construction site. One morning, when all 200 of us were gathered for a toolbox morning meeting, police came in and arrested one of the young apprentices. Turns out he'd been through a bad breakup, and to get back at his ex after she cheated on him, he leaked all of her nudes and a few videos of the two of them online. This is illegal in Australia. The guy is now in jail. User replies. There are revenge porn laws in almost all US states now. User replies. It's pretty crazy how long it took to be put into law, to be honest. X posted photos of me, and created a profile of me, on FetLife, despite me having zero interest in it and not giving consent. That was just one of many shitty things she did, so it doesn't really stand out as something that hurt me emotionally or mentally. In high school, there was a girl 1 grade above me. Really nice person, pretty smart. Bit of a stoner, nothing serious. She went to uni for some humanities field. I left the States after high school, never went to any reunions. A few months ago was reminiscing and decided to Google some former classmates and see how they were doing. Well, I don't know what happened exactly, but the top 5 results for her name were titled, name, druggy whore, and linked via some forums/message boards to some hidden camera-style porno videos with descriptions like, name, from, city, sleeping with her heroin dealer to pay off debt, etc. Was absolutely shocking. There were even Yellow Pages businesses set up, presumably by whoever posted that shit, with her name as the title and very unsavory descriptions. I was aghast and didn't know what, if anything, to do. I found out she did indeed have a bad drug phase, but by then was in rehab and going back to school. I figured she probably knew about the videos, but in case she didn't, I didn't reach out to her directly. Instead, I sent revenge porn, DMCA, etc. reports to the porn sites that hosted those videos and sent an anonymous summary to the state's DA and her city's police department. As of checking 2 months later, the videos were all gone, but some forums with dead links still remained. Crazy times. No one should have to go through that because they made some bad decisions. I keep my fingers crossed her life will turn around completely. User replies. This is an incredible thing to do for someone. I work as a victim advocate for people who have experienced sexual assault, and have heard story upon story about situations like this. It's unfortunately pretty rare for other people to be supportive like this or to say/do something, but you did, and I can't express how meaningful that is. Reading this restored my faith in humans a little bit. User replies. You're a good person. Thanks for advocating for someone who couldn't advocate for themselves. It absolutely devastated me. I was sextorted/blackmailed from the age 15 to 23. They were sent to almost my entire family, sent to my college coaches, posted them on revenge porn sites, etc. Now as a 24-year-old, I don't give a shit. My dad died this year. Nothing will be worse than that in the grand scheme of things. Especially in the day and age of sex positivity and OnlyFans. I almost killed myself over that shit. It was terrifying, embarrassing, isolating. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. User replies. I'm an IT consultant, and when asked about it I try to say this. Nudes on the internet are a dime a dozen, they get forgotten in a couple of months, but if you know who did it, and you underage, distribution of child pornography is on your record forever and in many places will limit where you can work or live. If he doesn't get killed in jail, pedos have to be kept in protective custody because in general population they have a tendency of falling on sharp objects and walking into fists. You will feel shame for a few weeks/months, but the person who did it will be fucked for life. He has a lot more to lose than you. User replies. Sorry to hear about your dad. That's really tough. They're still circulating 10 years later. I've been doxxed, cyber-stalked, called out in public even after I moved away. My ex who did it is dead now, so I at least know he won't be spreading them anymore. He did in retaliation for me dumping him, but I haven't put my full name on anything in many years in case they come around in any way that might cause real issues for me. It also caused me to become a figure model for art groups as kind of reclaiming of my body, which is actually a pretty sweet gig. So that's good. My wife worked with a lady and her ex-husband, released topless pictures of her through email to all of her colleagues. She was escorted off campus and lost her job as a teacher because of stupid ethics laws in my state. I would have sued the school district if it had happened to me, but as far as I know, no action was taken by the woman in question. I don't know if leaked is the right word, since they weren't posted publicly or anything, but my ex shared mine with a group chat of his online friends. They did this to multiple other girls too. Some were their own girlfriends, and some were just girls they flirted with on the internet. They'd trade them and make fun of them together. It fucked me up real good and I never took or shared another one again. He never admitted to it, only to the fact that he did it to other women in the past, but was adamant he never shared mine, except those same friends of his knew intimate details about my body and described the pictures to me in detail, while they bullied me about how gross they thought I was. When I took the pictures, I was actually quite happy because I took them after significant weight loss and I thought that I looked really good and I made them really cute and artsy, paying attention to the setting and lighting, so I was actually kind of proud of them. But they verbally tore apart pretty much every aspect I thought I enjoyed about them and said disgusting, horrible things about my body, and I pretty much have never felt good about myself again. My much older ex did this to me, but I can't prove he was the person who did it, so there's nothing I can do. I'm afraid to delete social media because I'm afraid something will get leaked again and I won't know. I'm always afraid I'll relax and they'll resurface. It was 15 years ago and it still makes me feel physically sick to think about. Haven't sent or taken a nude since. Not me, but this girl I was dating had her nudes threatened leaked after we stopped seeing each other. Swear on my life it wasn't me. So she said, fuck it, and posted the nudes herself on a website and then linked it on her Facebook saying something like, there's somebody threatening to leak these pictures I sent them and I'm not gonna let somebody hold that kind of power over me, so here you go. Look at them if you want. More power to her. I was a little mad that somebody would do that to her even though we weren't involved anymore, so I'm glad she at least put them out in her own way. User replies. My neighbor's 14-year-old daughter, who seemed like a very sweet girl to me, had some random jamosh send a pic of her tits all over her high school. I felt so sad for her. Not me personally, but I was friends with someone in high school whose sister ended up killing herself, because someone leaked her private pictures. Probably one of the scummiest and most invasive and flat-out wrong things you could do to someone, and it should involve jail time in my opinion. User replies. There was Amanda Todd here in BC, who killed herself after being bullied online and exploited for nude photos. Dutch sex offender Aiden Coben was found, charged, extradited, tried, and convicted and is currently serving a 13-year sentence for the crime. You already made it halfway through the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. Let's continue. I just swallow my constant crippling anxiety and cross my fingers that I'm not being traded on the dark web or something like he threatened he would do. Sometimes the hurt and anger get kind of overwhelming, but I've faced worse. All I know is that I probably can't run for any political position or get too famous without being publicly humiliated. Edit, guys. So many comments trying to remind me how much nudity is already on the internet. I'm aware. The issue lies in the fact that it gives people the incentive to cyberstalk and dox you, and I have been cyberstalked, and the concept that you're not consenting to who can see your body anymore. I'm not unfamiliar with how much nudity is on the internet. I'm just angry that someone took something from me that wasn't theirs to begin with and messed with my privacy. I hope none of you ever feel exploited like that. During COVID, a period of relenting loneliness and horniness, I ended up FaceTiming with a girl who worked with us. To be clear, she sent me a nude video of her first. I should also mention I had trained her just 3 to 4 months ago when she joined. Months later I find out that she had screen recorded me playing with myself and had even sent a video on a work chat. A disgruntled employee threatened to send that screen recording to our staff alias so all 300 to 400 people would end up seeing my dick video. I ended up confessing everything to my boss who owns the company, and he told me to lawyer up and take this as a learning lesson and assured me that no external email can be sent to staff alias. Since then, any kind of video chatting haunts me. This is actually the TLDR version of the story. It gave me really bad trust issues for a long time and made me scared the next person I dated was going to hurt me, as well. Also, I developed really bad body image issues from it and couldn't leave my apartment for over a year. Not fun times. It took a lot of therapy to get to a place where it doesn't give me a fight or flight trauma reaction. I was in high school and pics of my tatas and a video of me giving head got leaked by a jealous ex. I was popular before that and made it clear I did not give him consent to record me going down on him. He was rightfully clowned by everyone. So it was my birthday and I had work the next day, but I still fancied some beers and cocaine, after consuming a decent amount of both, while I was trying to chat to girls on Tinder. Going to keep this short and basically, whoever I ended up speaking to wasn't real and we exchanged pics. I sent my coked up dick pic and then they threatened to send it to all my family, unless I pay them money. I told them absolutely no way they're getting money off me. They sent my dick pic to all my family and other random friends on Facebook, my grandmother, etc. Seen it. It has made me avoid family functions, etc. Ever since. I was an absolute idiot for falling for it, but it was a really shit thing for someone to do. Just for anyone reading, this is a really common scam. Sextortion is what it's known as. There is a subreddit devoted to helping victims of this. User replies. The basics though is, never send money as they will keep asking for more and more, and once you give it once, they will actually be more motivated to continue to extort. Some people think lying and saying you are a minor is a good move. I've heard varied results on that. Block immediately. Deactivate socials. Report their account. Not a lot else you can do. But more importantly, don't share nudes with people you barely know. Most women aren't chomping at the bit for naked pics of you the same night you meet them. My ex and I made a naughty video 20 years ago, that was stolen by the maintenance man at our apartment at the time. He posted it on 4chan. I found out when a friend contacted me 6 years ago and told me she saw it. I had anxiety for about a week, but that's about it. We were in love and we both were young and looked great, lol. Damn, I didn't think I'd ever say this story on Reddit, but so much time has passed, it's like seeing it from a plane now. I was in high school in the early 2010s when iPhones and phones with more than a potato quality video were still new. As a dumbass 15-year-old, I went down on my dumbass 16-year-old boyfriend whilst nude. Unknowingly, I was being videoed. He ended up sending it to the football team, because apparently that's normal and expected. Since it was a Catholic school and getting adults involved might mean expulsion for me as well as the guy, I just weathered the fucking storm that having a sex video of yourself bounce around high school is. I lost a lot of friends, so I went from kinda popular to being alone a lot more often. But sitting at the loser table in Catholic school meant I became friends with people from very different situations than me and confronted a lot of my own prejudices at a very young age. I lost my faith, learned I love smoking weed, did shady shit with older guys, because I was undateable in school. But I learned that if you enjoy spending time by yourself, no one can hurt you in the end. I learned to use taking a walk through forests and nature to calm my anxiety over everything. I like who I am now. I don't think I'd be the person I am if I didn't go through what happened. I'm married to the gentlest man I adore so much. I have 2 dogs and a cat. Next year I'm adding chickens. It affected me so much, but if I could undo it all at this point, I don't think I would. 3 days before my wedding, an old coworker of mine sent me one of those messages you get all the time on Facebook, a link and, "Is this you?" I texted her and told her that she had been hacked. She was like, "Nope, I literally think this is you on this site." She and I had worked together at a restaurant, but on the side, she sold custom nudes and reviewed the local 4chan pages to make sure that none of her customers were sharing her paid content. So I finally clicked the link, and it was a 4chan page for my town. It was me. It was incredibly violating and my mind was spinning. I was a teacher at the time, and this was 8 or 9 years ago, so the understanding that everybody takes nudes just wasn't in the public consciousness. I knew I would be blamed or fired if the photos came out. Worst of all, it was nudes that did not include my face that were posted in a gallery that also included professional modeling shots I had done, clothed, that included my face. The post also included my name. The only conclusion was that somebody I knew had posted them. I did not suspect my partner, but I knew that he had no passcode on his phone and left his phone lying around all the time. There were 2 acquaintances in our circle at the time who I suspected, but as I started trying to figure out who it was, I knew that the process would make me crazy and I decided to let my vigilante investigation go. I screenshotted all the images and had to email them to my local print shop, so I could bring them to the cops to make a police report. I had to beg the print shop to delete the document in front of me, but it was so humiliating watching my nudes print in this busy shop, the day before my wedding. The officer I spoke to did exactly what I expected, blamed me and told me that I just shouldn't be taking intimate photos. I live in one of the few states that doesn't have revenge porn laws, and either way, I didn't know who had shared them. In the days and weeks surrounding the photos being leaked, I was suicidal to a level I have never been before. I was on with suicide hotline chat every single day, often multiple times a day. I didn't want my new partner to see my naked body, and I became incredibly suspicious of all of our friends. When I finally was able to be intimate with my partner again, I found myself freezing up and we'd have to stop. I developed vaginismus, which I needed physical therapy for. After being intimate, I would sometimes be overcome with this feeling of dirtiness and just sob and sob. It affected my relationship. Even now, I still sometimes run into the 2 people who I think might have leaked my photos, and it takes everything in me to keep from asking if they did it. If they know what they did to me, and how they destroyed the year that was supposed to be one of the happiest of my life, but I don't think that there are answers to be had. I have made my peace with not knowing what happened. And I do everything I can to destigmatize the fact that everyone takes and sends nudes. It's part of this era in technology, and it's a way that we stay connected, and sharing our bodies with people that we trust isn't shameful. Isn't shameful. What's shameful is people who take those images and exploit them to hurt others. Big thanks to everyone who watched the entire video. We're aiming for 250 subscribers by the end of the year. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing. Drop a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one.